These cards and stickers have been poking fun of everyday products for decades. And to this day, you can't help but laugh every time you see them. Let's relive the irreverent humor of Wacky Packs.
Collector Guide.
Made by Topps, Wacky Packages have been around in one form or another since 1967. Hilarious cards and die-cut stickers that poke fun of everyday products. This is Ernie, and he really knows his Wacky Packs. So Ernie, what does your Wacky Package collection look like?
From a stickers point of view, in my core collection, I've got series 1 to 16, which is about 500 different stickers when you count all the different variations. From a collection point of view, I've got display boxes, uncut sheets, artwork, oddball items that people have never even seen before, iron-ons, old vintage shirts that kids collected when they were, my age. So I've expanded to anything that's out there. And then thousands of extras because I have a lot of collections I bought over the years.
Why Wacky Packs?
When I was 8 years old, I discovered them kind of around the same time I discovered baseball cards. So that's I think when you kind of get into the real world of having a little bit of your own spending money and getting allowance from mom and dad. And what appealed to me about Wacky Packs is that they were caustic. They were kind of a way to get away with things that I normally couldn't get away with. So, for example, one of my favorite titles was A-Jerks, because in the household you're not allowed to say bad words, and I could say A-Jerks, and my mom would be like, "You can't say jerk," and I'm like, "Well, but it's a Wacky Pack title." So it's just kind of a way to push the envelope a little bit, and the art and the gags were hilarious. So, I was all in as a kid, and a lot of my friends were collecting them.
How do you display them? Do you keep them in boxes? You put them in albums?
Yeah, so my cards I keep in an album, and then the rest of my collection is really the oddball stuff. So if you can see I have a whole bunch of original series. So I have every series represented there, all the way from series 1 to 16.
Gosh.
And then this cabinet, I have shipping cases that actually the Wacky boxes came in, some of the shirts, a variety of stuff.
I'm really not quite sure. Are they stickers, cards? Just what are they, and how have they changed over the years?
In 1967, they came out as die cut. Here's an example of a die cut. And when I say die cut, it's a hard cardboard that it's die cut around it, and you can press it out so it would come out. And this is what they look like when they're cut out, when they're pressed out. So these don't have the border. They're hard cardboard that basically got pressed out. You could lick the back and stick them. I can't imagine licking the cardboard and trying to stick these things, but apparently you're able to do that. And quite honestly, these are now 50-something years old, so I'm not really interested in licking 50-year-old cardboard to test them, but that's the theory. Then in 1969, they moved on to something called Wacky Ads. So it's a whole long cardboard thing. Again, it punches out. And these titles, like Blunder here, you would see was the Series 2 title later on. So these titles were reproduced. It's 1967 and 1969 titles showed up again as stickers in 1973 and later.
So just the Blunder Bread part of that punches out?
Oh, the card.
Yeah, that piece, yep. And then, as I said, in 1973, they moved on to Series 1 stickers, and they're actual stickers.
So were the stickers in each set different every year, or did some bleed over from one series to another?
They're all from 1973 through 1977. The series 1 to 16 are all different titles. They never reproduced a title through those stickers. So they're all brand new. Now Topps, in the more recent re-releases, started reproducing some of those titles. But in 1 to 16, the titles are always unique.
So how many card stickers are in your collection?
It'd be hard for me to count number of cards, but from the stickers point of view, series 1 to 16 is about 500. Just counting the different titles. If I count back variations, then it goes out to about 700 because there's a white and tan variation of each. When I talk about title variations, I'll give you an example of an actual title variation. So here is Spick and Span. The title, the actual product is called Spick and Span. The Wacky Pack is Spick and Spill. You can see that I don't know if you can see that, but on the top of the title, it says actual Spick and Span, which I'm sure got in trouble for that. and told them, hey, you got to take that off. So they did another version that blanked it out. So you have those types of variations that are intermixed in here with the spick and span one that's a little bit more valuable. There's other titles that Topps actually had to pull, again, probably for a cease and desist. So it wasn't just changing the title, but just pulling it completely out of the run altogether. I'll give you, here's two examples. Bum Checks and Choke Wagon are valuable Series 4 titles, and those were taken out. Yeah, so they apparently got into some trouble with Rouse and Purina, and they had to pull those titles. So there's two different types of checklists. One that says Bum Checks and Choke Wagon, and then there's another one that has the replacement titles, which are Windex and Mesclero. So here's an example. Windex was just added. So they just added that, and that's the much more common one that they had throughout the rest of the run. It can be a complex hobby. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of variations, a lot of nuances. So, I enjoy trying to help people now because I've lived through it all.
What are some of your very favorites?
Well, my all-time favorite is Band-Aid. So this is a first series title that I collected as a kid. I think what I particularly enjoyed about it is, we had Band-Aids as kids, and it was always a dilemma of, the tough kids would rip it right off their arm, and the other kids might pull it off a little more slowly. And I got a thrill out of looking at this thing, strips off skin, like you're ripping off the Band-Aid and your skin's coming with it.
Now you have something really great. You have an original artwork, one of a kind, for one of these Wacky Package stickers.
So I was lucky enough to come across Hertz. And as you can see, the artwork is fantastic. It's very detailed. Norm Saunders is the artist. He did a lot of the Wacky Pack art. You can see the details of the teeth and the little feet. When you see something like that in person, it's just amazing. And I got it secondhand. I mean, I knew it was one of the top pieces, and I wanted Series 1 or 2, so I went after it.
So someone wants to collect Wacky Packs. What would be your advice to new collectors?
Become educated as much as you can. It's a very complicated niche hobby. There's so many, as I mentioned, variations and things to learn. There's websites out there to help. I'm trying to help people. Take your time. Don't rush through trying to collect this in a minute and say, oh my gosh, there's Series 1, and I remember that as a kid, and the one you see on eBay is not going to be the only set that's out there. They're going to appear over and over again. Take your time, buy the one that's right for you. So educate and have fun. Just have fun along the way, I would say.
Now, you have a really neat website. Tell us about that and how people can reach out to you.
My website is wacky-packages.com. My main purpose was to use it to educate folks. So I have a price guide on there, which gives you relative values of cards. Obviously, you can't hold to the price because with the internet, as soon as anything resells, it could be a different price. And I try to I have a grading guide on there so people get an idea of the types of flaws that might affect the value of a card. And I have pictures of all the various oddball things that you can try to collect. I have a lot of pictures from my collection on there. There's a link to one of the forums that's been around for the longest time where collectors can chat with each other on there. So my main purpose is to help people get together and to try to educate them. I try to help.
The great thing about these are how true the gag writers and artists stayed to the design of the actual packaging of the product they were making fun of. I'm outside this grocery store and I'm going to go inside and do some shopping so we can compare the real product with the Wacky Package sticker. Let's start with a classic. Hunt's tomato sauce turned into Hertz pasty tomatoes. Swallowing this stuff really hurts your stomach. Jell-O became J-Lo, Sing Sing's favorite dessert, with metal file added. Planters turned into plastered whiskey-flavored peanuts, favored by drinkers everywhere. Jiffy Pop became Jiffy Pop popcorn, pops right in package and all over the house. Spam became Cram, which claimed no one will ever have to cram it down your throat to get you to eat it. Chicken of the Sea tuna turned into Sicken of the Sea seasick pills. And my very favorite, Captain Crunch, became Captain Crud. Tastes cruddy even in milk, with a real pirate inside calling for help. Looking back at these old stickers now today, it's funny to find products that you would never see inside something that a kid might buy. I mean, I was only like 11 when I bought these, and look at this. Products like cigarettes, cigars, and razor blades. Today you can get Wacky Packages Minis, little 3D reproductions of the classic stickers. Each blind cup comes with 5 mini Wacky Packs, a sticker, and a checklist. At the peak of their popularity in the 1970s, Topps was selling more Wacky Packages than the baseball cards they were famous for. And if you want to enjoy these product parodies while lounging in your living room, there are 2 coffee table books like this that you can find online. So for a hilarious trip down memory lane, all you have to do is bust out your Wacky Packs. Thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button for more great Collector Guys videos, and always remember, surround yourself with what you love.